This week, it's preseason where the games are made up and the points don't matter. The Argos make some moves and flag football is coming to the Olympics. Crack those cold ones, it's the Argos Fancast. You can find us at Argos Fancast or anywhere you find your friendly neighborhood podcast. Just search Argos. I am Clay Chisholm. You can find me at All Kinds of Clay. And joining us as always, he is our resident historian. From ArgoFans.com, the VP of Football Operations, Trustee Will Gertler, MBA.
Hi, everybody. You can find me on Twitter at ArgoFans or at www.argofans.com.
And from the Double Blue Order, Sir Douglas of House Ballinger, second of his name, Lord of Section 116, Warden of the South Side, and Protector of the Realm.
519 True Double Blue, stand up. You can find me exclusively on Blue Sky at DougB519. You can find, I've also got a YouTube channel that's at Sir Douglas 1873, and then you can find the Double Blue Order Facebook, Excrement, Instagram, and we got a merch store. New shirt we put up last week, and that's at doubleblueorder.ca.
All right. Well, and we are a proud member of the Shotgun Sports Network. You can find them at shotgunsportsnetwork.ca. And we're now on YouTube as well as Spotify and everywhere else you find podcasts. So that's going well, I guess. Guys, we had a football game.
Yes, we did.
In a stadium that is yet to be named again. The new Old Iver win?
I'll just call it Betadur.
Well,
it's sitting right in the middle of Mordor.
Preseason game, so preseason game, so not a lot matters here, but we can take a look at the stats. Give me 1 second here.
Ooh, fancy.
We can share the screen now.
Yes. As you can see, 24-16, we lost the game. But I want to point out one thing here right off the bat. This Tucker Horn is technically our fourth-string quarterback. 16 of 21, 172 and a touchdown. Our second-string quarterback, Nick Arbuckle, 10 of 14, 121. And then let's go over here and look at the Hamilton numbers. We've got the person who's supposed to be breaking records, 13 of 23, 101 yards. Our fourth-string quarterback outplayed Blow Levi Mitchell.
I wasn't paying attention to that at the game. I was too busy fighting off the orcs. I was fighting off the orcs. I was there. That is hilarious.
Other stats we can look at: Russian Mayan Williams did look pretty good. 8 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown. Deontay,
careful.
Mac Mahan?
Yep, Mick Mahan.
I think is it Mick or Mac Mahan?
I'm not sure.
Do I really? I really don't want to go into
that. But that's how everybody says it. Yeah, he came out this week and said this is how you pronounce it, because that's how everybody back home pronounces it. Yeah, he's just never corrected anybody because it's a very common name.
Well, yeah,
so it's Mac Mahan. 4 carries, 22 yards. Jaron Mitchell had another 4 carries, 12 yards. Cameron Dukes ran a couple times for 10 yards, and Tucker Horn had a 1-yard run for 2 yard or 1 carry for 2 yards. Catching the ball, we spread it out a lot,
which is good because we need to see what the receivers have.
Yeah, and you know that's exactly what you want to see on these things. So, I mean, if we take a look down here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 receivers caught balls for us. Let's go take a look at the other guys looking to kind of see what they have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They've added a couple here who did not, if we look here, did not catch any balls. So every person that we threw to caught at least one ball. So, lots of yards to go around. Shane Hooks, Brissett, Ergie Mayala, Dante Demas, Jaron Mitchell, David Unger, Marquis McCain, Dorian Anderson, Jake Herzlau, who had a touchdown in there as well. Kelvin Turner, Deontay McMahon, Mayan Williams, Derek Sluka, who also played at safety. So he'll be the first two-way player of the year. Sorry, Mr. Hunter, from down south, you're not going to be the first one to do it in a professional game this year. And then DeMonte Coxey as well on there. So based on seeing some of these stats and that, what did you guys notice when you're at the game?
I like Mayan Williams a lot. And I also like Tucker Horn as well. Those two I think are going to be pretty good. I think Cameron Dukes might be on the bubble. Because he
Cameron Dukes may have gotten banged up though.
Did not look good at all. Did not look good at all.
I think he got banged up on that personal foul play too, so I think they wanted him to stay.
But even
they did.
Yeah, I think they. I guess right at the end of the half, they talked to Dinwiddie and he said we're going to give the kid the whole second half. So I think he's pulling Cam Dukes back just in case. But Cam Dukes he didn't look horrible, especially on the from watching from home. But Tucker Horn looked like he's improved immensely from his first practice here. He looked like he was reading the defenses very well. He was making smart throws. He wasn't forcing anything. The only thing that I notice of is I don't think his arm is as strong as the other guys we have on there, because he looked like he was putting a lot of his body into those throws. So I'm not sure that he's got the strength, but he's like Chad Kelly light. He'll stick in there and make the throws.
Just can't throw it as far.
No. And then you've got Nick Arbuckle in there who's gonna, who's going to be Mr. Consistency. He's not gonna take any unnecessary shots. And then you throw Cam Dukes into the mix. You've got a running quarterback, because he did a lot of that and probably should have tucked a few of those down and ran a little bit more. So you've got 3 different styles of quarterback on this roster, and one that's got a cannon of the arm that we're probably not going to see until a couple games into the season, I think.
Yeah, remember to clip your toenails, people.
Make sure you clip them properly, actually.
Yeah.
There is a certain way you're supposed to do it, so I know from experience, ingrown toenails suck.
So, Doug has had ingrown toenails. Sounds all very gross.
I could get very graphic about it here, but I don't want. But this is not the format to be doing it.
Yeah, so that's what Chad Kelly. We're not sure if he's going to. He obviously didn't dress in this game, as did a lot of our veterans.
He's going to have an
but he won't be available. Yeah, and we haven't heard anything about that yet. But he's likely to start on either the 1 game or the 6 game.
Yeah, like my general impression is Arbuckle was fine. They did, even though the Argos really didn't score on any of his drives. That wasn't his fault because Coxie fumbled down in the score zone, and I think they wanted him to lead a scoring drive, but then I think in his last shot in there, he took a couple of hits. So get him out. Good idea.
Yeah. Doug, I agree with you when you said Mayan Williams looked really good. He looks strong in there.
It's those thick legs, man. It's those thick legs.
I'll take you guys' word for it. I wasn't.
You clearly weren't paying attention here.
Somebody was enjoying.
Somebody has to do the job.
I was in the bar drinking in the second half. It's 6-0 game.
Look, some of us need to do the preseason work on the team. Some of us need to do the preseason work on the tailgate. Will is taking that on for us. So, usually it's kind of the other way around.
Actually, I think that's more the in-game amenities that he was to the preseason on, as opposed to the tailgate. So, but I mean, I know we all tailgated, and it was all right. I mean, like I said, it's in Mordor, so yippee. But no, it was. I mean, for once, it was actually not bad considering. So, considering the history that I have with that place.
I mean, they don't really chirp a whole lot in preseason.
No. I mean, we won't get into the good, the bad, and the ugly of this game because it was preseason.
Yeah, the game's made up. As we said, the game is paying up, and the points don't matter. So we don't need to if I'm not doing a sober review of this game, we don't need to do a good, bad, and ugly.
But yeah, there was a lot of players in there that stood out for me. The one that I noticed a lot on defense, I'm just trying to find him right here, was number 49, Daniel Kwamu, especially in the first half. He only got 1 tackle in this game, but he looked like he was in on a ton of things on the telecast. You just saw 49 flying everywhere.
Yeah, and he's been on the team for a couple of years now.
Yep. Yes, third year on the team.
Be diplomatic. He's kind of always just sort of. He hasn't stood out until now.
No, and I was gonna I saw him oh, is this a new guy that we got? And then he's been on the team for 3 years, but he looked like that's the first time I noticed him at all, ever. But he looked like he was in.
I think he played some special teams last year, but
yeah, he just wasn't a guy that I noticed. And The other thing I did notice too about what they did with their offensive line is when Ryan Hunter started at right tackle. When Ryan Hunter went out of the game, Sage Dockstader moved over to right tackle from left guard and played the majority of the remainder of the game there. And they rotated in Greg Moore and I believe there was one other guy they rotated in there at left guard there. But there's a little bit more moving parts on this offensive line than I think we thought. Because especially if they're moving Dockstader over to right side.
Doing a lot of experimenting.
Yeah.
We'll see tomorrow, Thursday, with the depth chart, whether they are truly experimenting or whether tomorrow we see the more expected.
Yeah.
They were fine too. I mean, I thought the line was fine in whatever configuration they were.
Yeah, there was a couple things that hurries and stuff that they let through, but nothing earth shattering, and it wasn't like Hamilton held back on any of the blitzes either.
No, they blitzed a few times.
Normally, you never see a blitz in preseason, but both teams were blitzing regularly.
Yeah, which maybe if we had a blanket ugly, I'm not so sure the Argos generated a lot of pressure.
No.
But then again, that's kind of the way Dinwiddie likes to play it preseason. He really does not like to tip off any team to what kind of blitz packages they may throw
Exactly.
there.
Exactly. Why give everybody else tape as to what you're doing?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That said,
and that's normally what most coaches do.
Right, but I mean that said, there are more questions about the defensive line this year, which became a bit more increased when Brian Cox Jr. was hooked off the field and is out for the year.
In warm-ups.
Yeah, I was in warm-ups, yeah.
In a non-contact injury, he just looked like he was, running over, and then all of a sudden came up hobbling. And all we know of it right now is it's a lower body injury. I've seen people speculate it's it's either a knee or an Achilles or something like that. But either one, he's likely
season ending.
Yeah, likely season ending.
I heard foot. I heard foot.
Yeah.
You heard foot?
Yeah. So.
I did as well.
Idea. Yeah.
Well,
either way, it's not good. Either way, like poor guy didn't even take a snap and done for the year already.
Yeah.
Damn shame.
Yep.
And I know they were pretty bullish on him as well. So that's what makes it hurt even more.
Yeah, and that's what prompted another move today. As the Argos did do some roster moves this past week as well. They signed American defensive lineman Brevin Allen. Most recently played for the Memphis Showboats of the United Football League in 2025. He's also had time with the Los Angeles Rams and stopped in at Green Bay and New England as well. And with that, they announced the release of two American defensive backs, Lawrence Johnson and who was slowly becoming a favorite, Quincy Moje. He was all over their socials in preseason.
Not anymore.
No, unfortunately.
Well, and that's like Blackburn at safety, and Donald Rutledge at Sam linebacker. So
Yep. And they also activated Mark Milton from the suspended list as well. So yeah, it's one of those things. Football is a great game, a stupid business.
Cutthroat business.
Yeah.
Jeremy Edwards also got cut too.
Yep.
Yeah, you get into that. Yeah, the other one is they signed American receiver Dorian Anderson, and they released fullback Bruno Labelle, offensive lineman Ethan Pyle, activated kicker Alfredo Goches Lozada.
Well, I think will be released next week.
Yep. Signed Daggy and released Jeremy Edwards. So lots of moving parts here.
And there's going to be a lot more.
Yep.
Because I think the roster cut down is
Saturday.
Saturday, 10 p.m. local time.
Which means we won't hear about the Argo cuts until like noon Sunday, but
possibly even later.
Whoa. Yeah, it was for some reason the Argos cuts don't ever hit the CFL website until like 3 days after they're supposed to. But you can usually find out who's.
We'll get it like the day before the depth chart drops for game one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would not surprise me in the slightest.
And well, that kind of concludes what happened in the game and what happens last week.
The Daggy signing was interesting. We know that Chad Kelly is going to be an X-ray this week to determine how long he's going to be out. Could be one game, could be the 6th game. So, and maybe, as Doug says, Cam Duke could be on the whatever.
Yeah, he could be on the way out, and we do need a short yardage guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do need a short yardage guy desperately.
He's proved he's very good at that.
Did he get stuffed? We got stuffed once on Saturday anyway.
Yep.
I think so. But that was a problem stemming back all the way to last year though, too.
Yeah.
We needed a short yardage guy like desperately. And now with Jared Daggy, we finally have one.
Yep. Yeah, and that, like you said, that could spell the end of Cam Dukes, unless he's a little bit more banged up than what they're letting on. They'll probably try and keep these guys around if they can, but you can't keep everybody around if you're on the roster or on the you've only got so many practice roster spots. So if they're even a little bit banged up, I can willing to bet that that Cam Dukes may be on the injured list to start the year, even if it's just to hide money
until they figure
out before everybody starts complaining about the Argos circumventing the rules. Every team does it. Everybody puts guys on the 6th game when they're
now you're going to fire up 3 sets of amateur accountants. You're going to fire at least 3 sets of You're going to fire up 3 sets of amateur accountants. One the Regina office, the Winnipeg office, and the Hamilton office are all going to be up your ass now, Clay. Saying, "Oh, the Argos don't do that; they just straight up cheat."
Look, the only thing I can say to rebut at least the Regina office is pre-practice roster. If you know, you know.
I know.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about there.
Yeah. And Hamilton's done it before too. It's not new.
Everyone's guilty of it.
It's just the way business works in the CFL. Well, before we get to the game that's coming up on Friday at Alumni Stadium at Guelph, we've got some other kind of football news coming up. We've got the flag football variety for the 2028 Olympics, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2028 Olympics in, I believe it's Los Angeles. And they're going to be coached by Paul Appolice, and they've announced their roster already. Names you might recognize on there are former Argos quarterback Michael O'Connor, Anthony Auclair, who spent the majority of his football career in the U.S., playing in the NFL, and that may be all that you would recognize unless you really follow some of these guys from U Sports.
Couple guys.
Will, you went over that. You went over them. Did you recognize anybody else?
I think it was like Miles Gibbon, but that's just vaguely as a former quarterback from Laval.
Yeah. So they've got the list there. We found that on.
They played at York apparently.
Yeah, 3 Down Nation put that out there, and TSN analyst Paul Appolice is their coach. Yeah, 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. So we've got our star lineup set. They're going to be practicing playing games from now until 2028 and see how things go. Whereas the U.S. is deciding, hey, let's give everybody in the NFL the opportunity to do this. Even though last time
ass Canada, whoop they ass.
Well,
that's all I'm gonna say.
The one thing I want to point out here is they're looking at the U.S. has a very long track record of winning in flag football with specifically flag football athletes. They even went as far as destroying a team of retired NFL players. So there is a skill set that is specific to flag football that may or may not translate. Just depends on who you get to coach it to see if they can get the right guys in there. Because I did read another article about the American quarterback they have down there. He's a little guy. Nowhere would he ever make a professional football roster. He's 5'8" and $150 something, soaking wet. But he's set records for flag football. Apparently, this is my first foray into it. So, but he has set records down there, and they're already talking about Patrick Mahomes replacing him, even though he is the preeminent flag football quarterback. So, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. But we have a former Argo on Team Canada, so.
Whoop they ass. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep. Well, and we got the game coming up Friday night in Guelph at Alumni Stadium.
Historic Alumni Stadium. Not really, but
Well, it is historic to the Canadian football context.
bring seat cushions.
Bring
Yeah,
seat cushions
it is bench
and
seating there,
and
so
bring some
yeah.
ponchos. There's a
Yeah,
chance of rain.
Chance of rain. 40/100th chance of rain.
Has it gone up?
Yeah.
Eh.
Well, we'll see. Stranger things have happened. Weather is held off. Weather has come early. Who knows? But that's this Friday in Guelph. I believe there are still tickets available. You can go to was griffins.ca. Yeah, griffins.ca and should have the tickets on there. But argonauts.ca probably has a link to it as well.
I can check that right.
Argos.ca.
Check. Let me gonna check it in real time here on my handy dandy phone. All right, so tickets.
Argonauts.ca.
Yeah, you have to go through a couple hoops, but you can't. But it does link over to the Griffin's University platform for tickets because they're the ones that are getting in on it.
Yep.
So
Griffins.
and they are still available. And the thing is, they're gonna try and overfill the place a little bit because from what I understand, if there is overflow in the grandstand, people will be able to access the hill on the opposite side. So
that'd be yep. Oh yeah, bring a tarp.
Oh.
Yeah, I read that when I was buying my tickets. So if you can't get into the grandstand, they will open up the hill on the opposite side. But I'm probably going to spend most of my time in the beer garden. So
sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, get there early. They usually have food trucks out outside the stadium as well.
Yeah, they put up a good spread when they do Guelph. They put up a good have a good put up a good show.
There's grilled cheese.
Mm-hmm.
If the full cheesy truck comes.
Oh, yeah.
There's a few cheese trucks, grilled cheese trucks that frequent Guelph, I believe.
I think the last couple
but we're taking on the Hamilton Ticats. Yeah. Taking on the Hamilton Ticats in this game, and this is probably where you're going to see a little bit more of the season starters coming out for probably at least a quarter, and then they'll start filtering in some of the other guys from there. So it'll be. What are you guys looking for? I know it's like you said, it's a made up game, but what do you want to see, at least from the ones in this game?
Touchdown drives, points.
In a very general sense, I echo what Will is saying. If we're gonna bring out the starters for a series or two, then yeah, like get them within scoring range, or just go right to the end zone. Don't care how you do it. Hook, borrow, steal, kill. Get them points however you can.
Yep, and I honestly I would like to see them go full bore with the offense, at least coming out for at least a quarter. And I don't want to see them punt. Go for it on third down. It's a preseason game. The outcome doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It's what you get to see on the field. We know we've got one of the best punters in the league. We almost always have pretty decent special teams. So do we need to punt? Might be, a couple punts just to get our punter some action in there, but
want to get that group ready though.
Yeah. But I think you really need to push some of that that cutthroat attitude on the offense. The other thing I want to see is the consistent offensive line play. But they've been decent. They were decent in the first preseason game. But I want to see is this the lineup that they're going to trot out there? I want to see that starting lineup, and then be some consistency on where they're going to play, just so they can get used to it. Because like I said, if you're going to have Ryan Hunter moving over to the right side tackle, he's played 3 positions on that line already. You kind of want to figure out who your guys are in there, where their spacing is, who they're leaning on for the different calls, etc. in there. So, and I guess you're also going to have Sirocco back for the first time in a year too. Well, he did play in the last game, but he will be there. And maybe some pressure on defense.
That's always good.
Yep.
Always great to see. It's always great to see Bo picking turf out his helmet, even if it is artificial.
Yeah.
And
it'll be nice to get out there and be able to start yelling at the team again.
I doubt neither.
I didn't get out to the last preseason game, so I wasn't able to go yell at them in Hamilton.
You could have.
I could have.
But you had to be
possibly
bowling in Paris, Ontario, or some.
That was in the dirty schwa.
Oh, at Neb's Fun World. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a weird name. But for your entertainment needs in Oshawa, Ontario, do visit Neb's Fun World.
And I'll be back there again this Saturday too.
God, you're spending more time in Neb's Fun World than one person should.
You know what? It's a pretty interesting place. It is a lot bigger than you think it would be. 52 lanes.
Wow.
Convertible from 10 pin to 5 pin. And that's only half
real.
the building. They've got a full giant. The other half is an indoor amusement park.
Oh.
They've got roller coaster. They've got go-karts. They've got, all those little kiddie rides. I think they're putting in mini putt in there as well. They've got a full arcade. It is pretty big.
Well, the building is big. The roof doesn't look overly.
No, but it kind of ramps down a little bit, so it's a little bit deceiving. And so if you're looking at the building, the front end that you're seeing is pretty much the bowling alley part. And then there's a new section that they've built onto the back end of it. That's where they've enclosed all of their amusement rides, because it used to be 2 separate buildings. And at one point, I believe some of the amusement rides were outside as well. But now it's all one giant building, and it is huge. And they do make good food there.
Huh. Ooh, it's right near the Tank Museum. Reminded of that one online video. Arthur, get out of the tank. Head pops up. You're not my dad. Get out of the tank. I am your dad. You're not my dad. I'm literally in a tank. You're not. Get out of the fucking tank. No. It's one of my. It's just. I love that video. That video is too funny. I laugh at it every time. Like,
tank museum at the airport.
Well, Doug, do we have anything for the 3-minute warning? Because I know Anton took the week off. I haven't seen much other than the Argos, singing at practice.
Yeah, Benji Franklin was leading the new rookie boy band. So go check that video out if that's available everywhere. Including Blue Sky now. The Argos are finally on Blue Sky. Good job, guys. It's about time you got on there.
And they also posted a bunch of the like the rookies always have to sing a song.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one of the admins tried to get Wynton McManus to pay them $100. He kind of laughed at it.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Anyway, so I do have one thing. And this is the clapback of the game. Basically on the way back to my car, I was walking with a bunch of people, and of course it's Hamilton, so you're gonna hear Argo suck all the time. And so I heard it, and it sounded a little young. So turned around, and it was a guy, probably early 20s, and both me and my friend looked to him and say, "Were you even alive the last time the Cats won the cup?" And he just goes, "Nope."
Hey, it's hope, right?
Yeah. Well,
they can have hope. We can crush it every single time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's
Toronto Argonauts crushing hope of the Hamilton Ticats fans since 1999.
I think they do a good job of that. Good job of that themselves since 2013.
Yeah.
Twice in a decade, back to back, and you couldn't finish the job. That's Saskatchewan Roughriders level of futility.
Including against a team that Montreal and Toronto have beaten since then.
Yeah.
And one of the teams they lost to was that team of futility that you talk about.
Mm-hmm. So what does that say?
Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yep. We just, yeah.
I still think they picked the wrong song to rip off of for their team song. It shouldn't have been Blue is the color they ripped off. It should have been I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles. If you listen to the lyrics, you'll understand why.
All right, we'll take your word for that.
I can sing it here if you want, but I don't want to. I kind of don't want to.
No.
Go look it up. You'll go look it up. Go listen to it and pay it very close attention to the lyrics. You'll understand why.
What are you looking up?
I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles. In particular, the lyrics for that.
Yeah, I'll look at it. I think that'll be a something I'll look up after the show here. And then
when you do, you're free to slap me upside the head if I did go offside. But I don't think I did with this one.
Oh no, I'm gonna get you to sing it on on a live stream at some point. You know, we don't need to subject them to that now, but we'll get a few beers in you.
No, yeah. Tailgate.
Yes. Yes, because that is something
when
we
are the Riders in town again? Because I'll do it then.
Listen to the Dame Vera Lynn version.
June 20th.
Oh, that's quick. That's close.
June 20th, it's Pride Night.
What happens on June 20th?
Saskatchewan's in town.
Oh.
That's a Friday night, too.
That's Friday night. At Bamo.
Friday night, I believe. Yep, I'm on days. Cool. So that's going to be
night.
That's going to be that's not going to be a tailgate. Not going to be a tailgate day, but I'll be down there as quick as I can. Stupid traffic, stupid work.
You know, I think the song they need to pump that night over anything, because it's Pride Night, is Elton John's Friday Night's All Right for Fighting.
Okay.
Whoosh.
We should tell the person.
Random thought.
It's too bad we don't know the person in charge of this.
What?
No, but we know somebody who works with the guy.
Yes, beside him. I think we met the guy. I think Doug and I met the guy in Guelph. Navarro, dude. Adam introduced us to this guy at the.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
I think he's the DJ guy.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The double blue game. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, maybe we can throw a
we'll have to throw that over his way, and because I think that would be a fantastic song for Pride Night on a Friday night. You got Elton John,
especially if the teams get into a scrap.
Meh. Regardless.
No, I'm just saying, especially if the teams get into a scrap. But otherwise, you can generally throw it out there because it's a genuinely good song.
Yep.
Most of what Elton John did is a good song.
Isn't the song called Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting?
Oh, damn it. You're ruining it, Will. Apparently I'm wrong.
No, but Elton John didn't write a song about Friday.
No wonder it didn't. You look, yeah.
Rebecca Black's Friday.
All you have is that horrible Cure song.
Nothing wrong with the Cure either. As long as it's not Rebecca Black's Friday, then we can move on.
Friday.
The most disliked video on YouTube, and it's not even close.
Well,
you won't see the dislikes now. They turned them off. You have to get if you have Firefox, you have to get a special extension for it that'll turn them back on, so you can actually see what it is. But it's like in the hundreds of millions dislikes.
Friday.
Well, yeah, I screwed that up.
We won't hold it against you.
It won't be the first time I screw something up this year.
No, not even remotely close. we all get guys, one at least.
Yeah. I've just got mine out already in the preseason. All right. It's preseason for us too. I guess the show is made up. We don't matter.
The show's made up and the format doesn't matter.
No. All that matters is you enjoy your choice of beverage while watching or listening to the show. and can laugh at me, because we do.
We all laugh at each other. That's what
Yep.
that's what makes it. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking through all the list of Friday night songs before. Yeah. Nothing works that well. Well, we need to move that game to Saturday.
Yeah, that would work better for me.
We got to move to Saturday.
Don't think that's going to happen.
All right, I think that does it for us tonight. Will, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Argo Fans or at www.argofans.com.
Doug, where can they find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky at DougB519, on YouTube as well, Sir Douglas1873. And you can find the Double Blue Order Facebook, Excrement, Instagram. We also have a merch store. New shirt went up to last week. Go check it out, doubleblueorder.ca.
And you can find me at All Kinds of Clay on a lot of the social media machines. You can find the show at Argos Fancast. Anywhere you find your Friends in the Neighborhood podcast, just search Argos Fancast. And you can now find us in this new video format on YouTube, Spotify, and shotgunsportsnetwork.ca. Well, that does it for the Argos Fancast this week. We'll talk to you next week when we know what this team looks like, we think. Cheers, everyone.